Honey, I just got up. Okay. I just got up. I don't know what this is. Um, Whatever. I hope you guys are having a phenomenal night. If not, do understand and get your night day is going to be better once your perception gets better. The reason why my voice is low, okay, is like 1:14 in the morning here, right? I had just got up, like I said, and when I got up, I was looking for ways to upload a video that I did earlier today about are you obedient, right? I told many of you guys that, hey Tracy, peace to you, baby, peace to you, peace to you. I told you guys that, my intuition is always talking to me, like, is always telling me to do certain things. And sometimes I don't even know what's the reason for it, right? So earlier, well, yesterday, my intuition told me to go to Harrison, right? So Harrison is 3 towns over, and it's so funny because for my thumbnail, and this is where all my creativity come from, is from me being obedient, right? And for my thumbnail, so everything has purpose. Everything. Hey, peace to your baby, peace to your peace to you. So Melissa, this is my day one. Okay, this is my sister. So when you guys hear me talking about my sister, well, you hear me saying my day one. This is her right here. So so everything has meaning, everything has purpose. And so when I say, um, you know, for my thumbnails or anything like that, I get the I get the ideas from, it could be from a book. It could be from anything, right? My titles comes like that as well. My titles come from, you know, when I'm reading something or if I'm listening to something, right? Something inspirational, or it could even be a song. But majority of the time is from personal development. And it's just so funny how like comes everything comes together, and how the universe makes sure that my videos are intentional, my videos are purposeful. It's not just about me just making videos, it's about me having intent behind my videos. And so when I created the video earlier today, I did not know exactly what was the purpose of it. Like I said, I just, I thought, well, my intuition just want me to do the video, right? But also, um, I said, I don't know if my intuition just wanted me to create memories for making a video, or if it just wanted me to make a video. But when I said just make a video, did it want me to make a video for somebody that needed to hear it, right? Or did it want me to get out of my comfort zone? The truth of the matter is, I don't know why, right? And sometimes when these moments happen, when my intuition is speaking to me, I say, like, why? Like, why? What's the use of me, doing this? Hey, pound, piece of your baby Dakota, piece of your, piece of your. What's the use of me going 3 towns over? Is a park right here, right? But I know a lot of it is to get out of my comfort zone. I do know that in order for me to be of inspiration, I have to be inspired first, right? I have to inspire myself and then come and share the message with anyone that is willing to listen to it, to see that they have the ability to change their lives. Not about me changing your life, because I can never change your life. Okay, honey, let me just tell you that, okay? I can never change your life. Only thing I can do is I can share my story with you guys so you could listen to your intuition, okay? Because the truth of the matter is, you have something within you that is always trying to guide you, is always trying to get your attention. Hey, Borrow, peace to you, baby, peace to you. I hope I'm not, listen, if I say your name and is incorrect, okay, I do apologize, okay? Um, but yeah, so that's the purpose. But the reason for this video, okay, because I'm always studying, and even when I was on a train earlier today. So this book, okay, is one of the books that I highly, highly recommend, okay, just so you could start shifting your perception. This is by far my favorite book, okay? Hey, KOA, peace to you, baby, peace to you. Listen, if I don't know how to pronounce your name, honey, I'm gonna spell it, okay? Okay. I love you too, Ballborough. So this book right here is from the late and great Dr. Joseph Murphy, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. And earlier, when I was on the train, I was reading it, right? It's funny because oftentimes, we think sometimes what we tend to grow through or be going through, sometimes we like, oh, well, that's just for me. And I tell you guys all the time, everything that you tend to go through is not for you. Is so at times you could be of inspiration, but you can't be of inspiration if you don't get through it. Okay, I be looking down and looking. I'm gonna look here because at times I keep forgetting. Like I'm on YouTube. Okay, um, but the inspiration is not is for other people, right? Like every situation, yeah, to inspire yourself, but every situation that we tend to go through or and grow through, it is for us to see that, like I'm able to get through this. Life is just showing me exactly how I'm showing up, and I'm able to do something different in order to get something different. Life doesn't care, or the universe or God doesn't care. Whatever you deem source to be, okay, you can't get wet from sand water. It does not care about if you cry or if you beg. Is certain laws in this here universe, and those laws governs our lives. Is love laws, is scarcity, is poverty laws, is health laws, is wealth laws, is success laws. So there's different laws, and if you keep doing the same exact thing, you shall receive the same exact thing that you have been receiving. And so on this journey, one of the things that I noticed before I had my spiritual awakening or just became, a little more enlightened, one of the things that I noticed, I would cry when things would go wrong, and I would ask God. At that time I was, praying to God outside me, up looking up at the sky, okay, thinking somebody was gonna come save me. I would ask like, why am I going through this? Why, I feel this way. Why would I be experiencing anxiety? And one of the things that I noticed what I was doing was I was going against myself, right? I was violating myself, right? And so when I say there's laws of love, there's laws of kindness, there's laws of peace. And so I was violating myself. And how was I violating myself? Well, because I was putting other people before me, whether it was family members that I felt, well, if I go against what they say, they would tell me, you're not going to have no good luck. So, in terms, because not being knowledgeable, right? And this is the purpose of studying, okay? Um, I start realizing, well, even though you say I'm not gonna have any good luck, right? And what I have been programmed to believe is not working, right? And so sometimes in life, you will experience anxiety and depression because you suppressing, right? Whatever is not expressed, okay, it is suppressed and then goes into depressed. So instead of me speaking up for myself, I felt like, well, if I say something, if I go against the grain or whatever it was, then I'm not going to have any good luck. So let me just, let me just not say too much, or I would be emotional or whatever it was. And oftentimes I would feel like I was wrong because I was going against, I was, you know, going against myself in a sense. So I would feel a certain type of way and just looking for things outside my existence and feeling like, well, they know best because, it's my family, it's friends, or whatever it is. And from me going through that experience, and I'm so grateful and thankful for that experience because if it wasn't for that experience, I would not be the person I am today. I will not be in front of you today making these videos, okay? And so, real quick, I wanted to talk about this because this was something that I had marked. Look, this is what I put over here. Let me see. One second. So look, so when I'm studying, is always intent, right? Is always purposeful. Okay. So one of the things it says reason for writing this book, and this is by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Okay, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. This is like my fourth time reading this book. I love this book. And one of the things I remember hearing my mentor Bob Proctor say, he said, when you read a book, it was another person who said this. He said, when you read a book, the second time around, it's not that you see something that was not in the book. You see something in you that wasn't there before, right? And it's pretty much alignment, okay? So it says reasons for writing this book. It is for the express purpose of answering and clarifying the above questions and many others of a similar nature that motivated me to write this book. I have endeavored to explain the great fundamental truths of your mind in the simplest language possible. I believe that it is perfectly possible to explain the basic fundamentals, foundational and fundamental laws of life and of your mind and ordinary everyday language. You will find that the language of this book is that used in daily papers, in your business offices, in your homes, and in daily workshops. I urge you to study this book and apply the techniques outlined therein. As you do, I feel absolutely convinced that you will lay hold of a miracle working power that will lift you from confusion, misery, and failure and guide you to your true place, solve your difficulties, serve you from emotional and physical bondage and place you on a royal road to freedom, happiness, and peace of mind. This miracle working power of your subconscious mind can heal you of your sickness, make you vital and strong again. And learning how to use your inner power, you will open the prison door of fear and enter into a life described by Paul as the glorious liberty of the sons of God. Okay, and I put for me to talk about this. Okay, and one of the things Dr. Joseph Murphy have in his book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, um, he have like different techniques that you can do, right, to get over whatever it is that you may be going through. And this is the part, it was a certain part, one second. shoot. I should have marked that part. Okay, so I can't find a part that I wanted to. Uh, oh, well, I guess this one. 1 second, family. 1 second. Wait. I'm going to find it. See, I should have had this stuff marked. Oh, okay. All right. This right here. So it says, do you know the answers, right? And this it says how this book can work miracles in your life. Do you know the answers? Why is one man sad and another man happy? Why is one man joyous and prosperous and another man poor and miserable? Why is one man fearful and anxious and another full of faith and confidence? Why does one man have a beautiful, luxurious, luxurious home while another man lives out a meager existence in a slum? Why is one man a great success and another an abject failure? Why is one speaker outstanding and immensely popular and another mediocre and unpopular? Why is one man a genius in his work or profession while the other man toils all his life without doing or accomplishing anything worthwhile? Why is one man healed of a so-called incurable disease and another isn't? Why is it so many good, calm, religious people suffer the tortures of the damned in their mind and body? Why is it many immoral and irreligious people succeed and prosper and enjoy radiant health? Why is one woman happily married and her sister very unhappy and frustrated? Is there an answer to these questions in the workings of your conscious and subconscious mind? There most certainly is. And then Dr. Joseph Murphy pretty much says, the reason for him writing the book, okay? Let me see. It goes on to say, the law of life is the law of belief. Okay? The law of life is the law of belief. All right, the law of life is the law of belief, and belief could be summed up briefly as a thought in your mind. As a man thinks, feels, and believes, so is the condition of his mind, body, and circumstances. A technique based on an understanding of what you are doing and why you are doing it will help you to bring about a subconscious embodiment of all the good things of life. Essentially, answered prayer is the realization of your heart's desire. And then is so many fascinating points. 1 second. No, this is The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. So this when I tell you guys, this is my favorite book. Okay, I remember. See, I told you guys before, right? that I would listen to my mentor, Bob Proctor, right? And when I made the investment that I wanted to change my life, I was so eager for change. I was so, it was like I was desperate. And I was listening to videos, right, prior to this. Like, listened to rapper B.O.B., and that really set tone for me to start doing things differently. Because one of the things rapper B.O.B. said was in his video, this YouTube video I watched, he said, when you tap in, basically, like the way I tell you guys, everything is within you, and you start meditating and you start listening to your intuition, you're not going to need anyone outside your existence, because your intuition is going to speak to you, right? And when I heard rapper B.O.B. say that, it was the first time that it was something different from what I've been programmed to believe. Different in a sense where, as though, I was used to listening to people outside my existence, and it was like I was living for them. Not necessarily living for me, but living for them and wanting to please them, and pretty much just going against myself, going against what I felt at times. Perhaps it don't make sense, but I'm a listen because of fear. And so when I started, when I made the investment so I could get different, because I received a settlement and it was $11,000. And I didn't I didn't know like how everything was gonna unfold. The only thing I used to do was I used to go in the bathroom and I would have these epiphanies. And I would say, I know I didn't come here for this. And that this was, I know I didn't come here to work and just pay bills. And it felt like I had this innate ability to know that this not it, right? Like I came here, it was like my spirit was letting me know this not really what you came here for. And as I kept on putting that out, right, and in the words of Earl Nightingale, one of the things he says is, you know, if you knock, the door shall open. And I remember hearing, if you seek, ye shall find. And from me kept saying it, it was like I was putting out into the universe, like, I know I came here for something different. Universe, what is it? Right? And from me doing one thing and listening to my intuition, it led me to where I am today. Right? So being obedient and really listening. And when I got the download, I tell you guys this story all the time because I really, really want you to get it. I really want you to start understanding that the power starts within you. When I got the download to do videos, there was no one guiding me. Okay, my intuition, God, universe, whatever you want to call it, got me. It just said one thing: create videos, help people get out the matrix. I didn't know exactly what that meant. I just knew, oh, from me meditating, listening to rapper B.O.B. who said, you know, meditation to connect to your higher self. And I said, all right, I never meditated before. I ain't got nothing to lose. Let me meditate. And I didn't even know, even if I was doing meditation correctly. I just wanted something different. And so from me meditating, Then I received the download. The truth of the matter is you receiving downloads each and every day, right? Um, Source is always speaking to you, is always telling you stuff, but oftentimes we because we have been conditioned to not listen to our intuition, we have been conditioned not to listen to, that gut feeling. And it started from childhood, right? It started from, you telling your parents or you telling your guardian, whoever may have raised you, this don't feel right. Or, you know, this person, I don't really care for them, right? Or saying something like that, and the person who raised you may have said, "No, that's totally fine." And so we have been conditioned not to trust ourselves, not to listen to ourselves. And it's all about you getting back to that power. You getting back to yourself. You getting back to listening and being obedient and trusting. Because oftentimes we say, I don't trust people. But the truth of the matter is not that you don't trust people, you don't trust yourself. Because before you could trust anybody, right, it starts with self. And so if you say you can't trust them, basically what you're saying is you don't trust yourself. You don't trust yourself to listen when your intuition is telling you to go down a different street. You don't trust yourself when your intuition is telling you that this relationship is not for you. And how do it tell you? Because the red flags that you tend to see, that you don't want to see, that you believe that you're gonna receive something different because you believe that is outside that's doing it. As long as I believe that it is my ex's fault for why the relationships didn't work, or as long as I believe that is my parents' fault for the way I grew up, as long as I believe it is society fault for whatever it is, or the government, or my life won't change. And this is oh my goodness, it's like perfect timing. 1 second. Because in this book by Dr. Joseph Murphy, he talks about belief. I think I've read this, but let's just go over it again. The law of life is the law of belief. And belief could be summed up briefly as a thought in your mind. As a man thinks, feels, and believes, so is the condition of his mind, body, and circumstances. A technique based on an understanding of what you are doing and why you are doing it will help you to bring about a subconscious embodiment of all the good things of life, essentially answered prayers, and a realization of your heart's desire. Everyone desires health, happiness, security, peace of mind, true expression, but many fail to achieve clearly defined results. A university professor admitted to me recently, I know that if I changed my mental pattern and redirected my emotional life, my OSAs. So this professor had ulcers, okay, would not recur, but I do not have any technique process. My mind wanders back and forth on my many problems. I feel frustrated, defeated, and unhappy. This professor had a desire for perfect health. He needed a knowledge of the way his mind worked, which would enable him to fulfill his desire by practicing the healing methods outlined in this book. He became the whole and perfect I remember listening to um, Zig Ziglar, and one of the things he said was, I remember he was pretty much giving advice to this guy who had a mentor. Well, he looked up to his boss, okay, and the guy boss was successful and successful. You know, he owned the business, he owned the company, he had money, and one of the guy's friends was concerned about his friend. So, you know, he reached out to Zig Ziglar. If you guys don't know who Zig Ziglar is, I encourage you to get familiar with him. He was in personal development, okay? And Zig Ziglar, oh my goodness, one of the greats, okay? And I remember listening to Zig Ziglar, and Zig Ziglar was saying, you know, when a friend had contacted him to speak to, you know, his friend, because he was kind of concerned, right? Because how his friend, you know, was modeling behind, you know, his boss. And so Zig Ziglar said, you know, I speak to him, you know, whatever. And so he was speaking to the guy, and he said, I hear that, you know, you have you have someone that, you know, basically you look up to, right? Your boss. And the guy said, yeah. And so Zig Ziglar said, well, I'm gonna ask you a few questions. And Zig Ziglar asked the guy like, the he said, your boss that you look up to is, you know, pretty much is he successful, you know, is he's wealthy, right? Because the guy was saying, oh, he has money and stuff like that. And so Zig Ziglar asked him like, do he have you know, is he as wealthy as, it was two billionaires, I think, that died in Texas, or no, two billionaires who went bankrupt in Texas at that time. And he said, is he wealthy like that? You know, and the guy said, no, he's not, you know, he's not wealthy like that. And then Zig Ziglar said, all right, so we gonna cross that off the list, right? So he wanted the guy to see, you know, basically be mindful who you model after, or be mindful who you look up to. And so he's asked him another question. He said, is the guy, do the guy have friends? And and the guy said, well, no, not really. He said, to tell you the truth, you know, nobody really likes the guy, right? This boss. So the Zig Ziglar said, well, all right, so we gonna, you know, we cross pretty much crossed that off. And then Zig Ziglar said, well, is the guy healthy? And the guy said, he's not healthy. He have ulcers. And Zig Ziglar said, when I read this part, it made me think of that story. Zig Ziglar said, well, ulcers, it comes from two things, either something eating at you or you eating at something, meaning stressed, right? So he said, well, he's not healthy or whatever it is. And from me hearing it, right? And it's true about who we tend to model after, because we could see somebody that is successful and we like, oh my goodness, you know, they have, you know, so much money and everything like that. And I tell you guys all the time, right? Money is a tool. Money is frequency, is also, the more money you have, the better you could be of service, right? The more you could get the message across or whatever it is like that. So money is a tool, but it should be other things that you tend to you know, look for in a person as opposed to just money, right? Um So yeah, so there's pretty. Oh, let me just read this, because this is what I want you guys to get to. The treasure house within you, infinite riches are all around you. If you will open your mental eyes and behold the treasure house of infinity within you, there is a gold mine within you from which you can extract everything you need to live life gloriously, joyously, and abundantly. So what he say is a gold mine within you, okay? Within you, within each and every one of us, okay? Many are sound asleep, and he's not talking about sound asleep like sleep. He's talking about metaphorically, like sound asleep, like they don't even have any clue, what's going on. I used to call people the Walking Dead, like the zombies, right? Because they don't even know why they tend to do whatever it is that they do. They just think that, like they don't have an understanding that is them that's creating a reality. They just think that somebody else is doing it, right? And that comes from lack of knowledge. And one of the things, I don't know if it's in a Bible or whatever, but lack of knowledge, like if you don't have knowledge. And another thing about this book, it talks about know thyself. This book is really about knowing thyself, knowing yourself, knowing the potential, knowing that you have this innate within you, this innate ability within you to guide you, to become aware, and instead of you jumping from relationship to relationship, is for you to look at your life and say, well, what am I doing? One of the things that I was like extremely, when I started like understanding this, I was extremely excited when my ex got into another relationship, to tell you the truth. At first the ego, felt some type of way. But after understanding this, because one of the things that I keep saying is, as long as he would jump into all these relationships, right? The next person is just gonna be the same, right? And it is for him or them or whoever, right, to look and see, I'm attracting these people. And so I would laugh at times because, and I remember one time, one of my exes I was talking to, I said to him, I said, um, the relationship you in is not gonna work. And I didn't say that. Maybe I was playing a little bit, okay. Um, but I said that from love too. I said it because I wanted him to know that, if you complained about me and you jumped into another relationship and you ain't do no work on yourself, oh, sonny boy, okay, that person is going to be just like me, right? Because you didn't do no work on yourself. And this is how we attract people. Now, granted, I know some people don't believe that. Some people feel like, no, that's not true. But only thing you got to do is look at your results, because the results, they never lie. Where's your last relationship? Like this relationship that you're in now? Was your last job like the job that you're in now? Now, not granted, because, some people, they don't want to believe it. So they'll say, no, that's not true. I don't care. I'm not on here to convince. I'm not on here to have you guys agree with me. I'm here to share, okay? And for you to start looking at your results and start saying, maybe it is some truth in it. See, one thing about truth is, truth, when you hear it, it does something, right? Like you can even be in denial and feel a certain type of way, but if you allow your ego to control you, right, then you will say things like, no, that ain't true. Some people, they get so upset, they write little comments or whatever it is, because it's something within them that is bothered by the message. And it's not for you to, it is for you to say, why do I feel bothered by it? Like when somebody says something that, you know, I may not agree with. Why? Why don't I agree with this? Right? Could it be the programming? Right? Could it be my belief? Okay. Could it be that? So it's for you to start owning in and seeing, why do you feel this way? Because the truth of the matter is, we've been programmed to have so many prejudice, and you don't even question it. You just go through life, and earlier I did a video and I said, you know why do you care about what other people think of you when they're not even thinking? They're not even thinking. They're not thinking. You may say they thinking, but they're not thinking. It's somebody else's thoughts. It's not even theirs. And the reason how that video came about was, I was walking to Dollar Tree, and I had these headphones on. And the headphones, like, they colorful, right? They have, like, some people may say, like, the gay flag, or some people may say chakras. All right, it's all according to how you see it, right? And I'm thinking is of this, the chakra part, as I'm doing this video. And I came across these construction men, right? And instantly, I would like to say the monkey in the mind, okay, said, they gonna think you gay. You got on those headphones with, and whatever you are, you do what works for you, okay? But that's what it said. It said they gonna think you're gay. And as I was walking and I heard that, okay, one of the things I was thinking, I was like, what? It's like, you hear it, right? And it's like, what? Right. And I'm like, so it gave me reason to make content. So I said, people not even thinking, right? And basically, I was just talking to myself, in a sense, not the part about thinking, but in the part of, um, you know, going against the chatter of my mind, right? Going against that chatter that was saying, they gonna think you gay. And me coming back with a video like, people not even thinking, right? They're not even thinking. They're not, it's somebody else that's doing the thinking for them. It's the programming, right? Which in this sense, okay, it was like the programming trying to, tell me something, okay? And me just saying, like, I don't care, right? Do I take out the headphones? No. So the point being is this. Initially, you're gonna have thoughts, right? Initially, you're gonna have this monkey in the mind, okay, whatever it is that's going on, that's telling you why you can't do things, that's telling you you should think this way, that's telling, all these different things, right? And it's very important for you to become the observer, because when you are observing, okay, is like, you see the mind, right? Well, not the mind, but you could hear, or you could be a witness of the thoughts that's coming in, or whatever it is, like that. And you could say, that's not true, right? I remember, after I had my spiritual awakening, right? And I remember I had told this person, I had said, because when I was a kid, I was really, really insecure. Even, when I was in my 20s, and, up until I had my spiritual awakening, just became a little enlightened, right? And I remember I told this person, I said, and this person fairly, fairly close. I said to this person, I said, basically, when I was doing Uber, I said, basically like I still have thoughts where as though it's like, um, oh, I shouldn't do this because what this person may think of me, or whatever it was, right? But I still would do the thing. I still would do the challenge. I would still do the opposite. Like if my mind telling me, if the monkey in the mind saying, "Oh, don't do this," because of what they may think of you or how you may look or whatever it is, and I still would do the challenge, right? I still would do the opposite of whatever that chatter was telling me. And this person said to me, they said, "You still care about what people think of you." And I felt some type of way, cuz I was like, "What?" Here I am challenging myself, doing the goddamn challenges every goddamn day, showing up for myself. And for you to say I still care about what people think of me. And this person don't challenge themselves or anything like that. And so I started thinking, right? And I never forgot, I came across a video with Prince PA. Okay, Prince PA. Who, oh my goodness, so phenomenal. He's a YouTuber too. And his videos are extremely inspirational. And I remember in his video, one of the things he said was, basically, you're gonna have ideas, or, you're gonna think certain things before you do, something, right? Because the chatter in the mind or whatever. Um, but if you still do it, right? That's what counts. Like if you override that chatter and still do the thing that perhaps before you would have never done because of what somebody else may have said or thought of you or whatever it is. Every time I challenge myself, one of the things that I know is, one, oftentimes my inner child comes out. That's one. And two, it's like it's like people watch you, right? And when they watch you, it's almost as if you sort of give them permission to, and not permission in a sense, maybe that's not the right word, but that's the only word I could come up with right now. But it's almost like you give them permission to play big. You give them permission to trust themselves and not to look outside themselves. It's almost like you you know sometimes people are looking for confirmation, right? Like I remember listening to Lisa Nichols videos, and it would be times I would have like certain ideas. As soon as I listened to her video, it seemed like the universe just directed me to that video at the time. And Lisa Nichols would say, whatever it was, and I would say, oh my goodness, she brave enough to say that. And it would give me the inspiration. It would give me the courage to say whatever it is that needed to be said. And you just gotta trust it. You really have to trust yourself and understand. Um, can I read the chat? Okay. So, anywho, it's really about you trusting and believing and knowing that you came here for something. You did not come here to play small. You did not come here to wear rags, okay? Although, I'm rocking a scarf. You did not come here to live mediocre. You did not come here to be a prisoner. And when I say a prisoner, like pretty much a prisoner of your mind, a prisoner of the beliefs that you've been programmed to believe. You did not come here for any of those things. You came here to evolve. You came here to allow God to experience itself through you. Um, you came here to have fun, to, have happiness, to experience happiness. You came here to live a life where as though you are the one that created it and is you actually benefiting and you being of inspiration, you inspiring others. And you are a spirit having a human you are a spirit having a human experience. And I remember hearing Infinite Waters say that, you are a spirit having a human experience. Yeah, so with that being said, I catch you guys later on today. Keep rocking out, keep believing in yourselves, keep on going, keep on growing. Do understand that if you want to change your life, you have the ability to do so, but you have to do something different, something that may cost you the person that you think you are, the person that you think you was created to be. It's gonna cost you being uncomfortable. It is at times is uncomfortable, and that's why a lot of people won't change because it's uncomfortable, and at times because they don't even know, they don't they don't even know that they have the ability to change their lives. And from me doing the videos, it's just inspiration. Like if I could give back, right, in a sense where as though I share my life and I let somebody else know. That they do have the ability. To me, there's more important than anything. It's more important than money, right? And I like money, okay? But it's more important than that to be of service and to just get you to understand that it's not about me. It's about you. It's about you looking at you and saying, I know I deserve it. Like, I know I deserve better. One second. All right, family. So, um, keep rocking out, keep believing in yourselves, keep on going, keep on growing. Get the books. I highly, highly recommend you get the books. Okay. This is pretty much what started changing. Well, really, it came from me hearing something that it had so much truth in it that I couldn't deny it. Although I didn't know, right? But when I heard, um, Rapper B.O.B. say you have that innate ability within you. It just has so much truth in it that I just was like, you know what? I'm gonna do something different. And at times is a walk in the park when I'm challenging myself. Well, not really challenging myself, but um like when I do the videos, it's like, is a walk in the park. But the challenging and listening to my intuition and hearing, because sometimes people will deny and say I ain't see the red flags and I ain't hear nothing, but I hear it. And so when I hear it, I know, all right, intuition. So that's the part. But life is rhythm, is a lower chord. Rhythm is never going to be at a even still. But the more you do the work on yourself, the more you start seeing that you know your perception starts changing. The way you know I don't know if it was Dr. Wayne Dyer who said, um things that the way you see things or something like that. I can't even think of the whole thing, the whole quote, but things are changed because you're changed, right? Because you change. And that's always my intro when I come on here. Like, I hope you guys having a phenomenal day. If not, do understand and get your life is going to change once your perception change, because it's the truth. It's all according to how you see it. You can see the glass half full or you can see the glass half empty. But either which way, there's no right or wrong. That's just what you see, right? And neither way, I mean, it's not right or wrong, but either way is not good or bad. That's just what you see. And as long as you continuously see that things not working in your life, things not. As long as you continuously think that you are a failure, you are a failure. As a man thinketh, right? By James Allen. Okay? Prosperity Bible. Okay? All right, family. So with that being said, let me go. I love you guys. Make sure you're rocking out and do believe in yourself. And I catch you guys on the next one. And listen, I appreciate you guys because you could have been somewhere else. Okay. Um, but understand that if you want different, you definitely have to do different. It starts there. And success is a decision away. Okay. In the words of Kevin Tredone, success is a decision away. You deciding, oh, I could do this. I could go buy the book. Okay? You know? I don't know if I'm going to get my money's worth, but you know what? It's better than right now. Okay? Because look, when you buy the books, okay, and you read the books and you start applying the information that you have read, like the techniques that it says in the books, which is called applied knowledge, your life is going to change. Okay. Hey, Miss Harden, peace to you, baby. Peace to you, peace to you. What you doing up? um, yeah, so your life is going to change, okay? Um, yeah. So with that being said, I've been on here for almost an hour. Okay, I don't even know what time it is. Oh, it's 2:13. Yeah, so I love you guys. It's so funny. Also, let me just say this before I go. I was thinking, um, I took a mindset class, right? And I said this before, right? Um, Everything to me is because of purpose, is purposeful, and is intent. My content is intentional. And I took a mindset class, but many of you guys may know that I did a 7-day water fast, right? And the 7-day water fast, it was very, very spiritual. I had no intentions at first on doing a water fast. I know my intuition kept telling me to fast. And I kept, okay, I'm going to do it, right? And synchronicities. I tell you guys a lot about synchronicities, that's the only way the universe is could speak through whatever it is, through people, whatever, through numbers. Okay, the last video I did, are you obedient? And in that video, it has numbers, right? Like 222. But that's the only way the universe could speak. And so I remember I did a video on here on YouTube, and I said, I was like, oh, I listened to Dr. Miles Monroe, and it's so funny because I said, the stuff that Dr. Miles Monroe would talk about is in these books. I have I have come across so many books that I know Dr. Miles Monroe had read, because in his sermons, when he would speak, okay, and he would preach, I could find exactly what book that he was quoting from. And when I say success leaves clues, they do. And one of the things Dr. Miles Monroe says, he says, I'm not important. I just read the books that you guys refuse to read. I thought that was like, like, oh my goodness. But anywho, so I was talking about Dr. Miles Monroe, and I don't know like why I just kept talking about him. I was saying, yeah, Dr. Miles Monroe, and then the next minute I said, I'm gonna leave a link to Dr. Miles Monroe's to his video. I went on there to I went on Dr. Miles Monroe page to leave a link up under one of my videos, to leave a link of Dr. Miles Monroe videos in my description. I don't give a damn who you get the message from. I don't care where the message comes from, for you to look at yourself and say, you know what, I have the ability to change my goddamn life, whatever, because I believe that if there's enough of us, right, there's light in the candle, okay, being the light, that there would be more, I don't want to say good, but maybe that's the only word, right? Because somebody else's good could be your bad, somebody else bad, but there would be more good in the world, so to speak. But when I went on Dr. Miles Monroe page, it was just so I could get a link, so I could put in my description. And how I did put a link in my description, but then later on I said, you know what, let me go back, and whatever video I watch of Dr. Miles Monroe, no, whatever video pop up, that's the video I'm gonna watch. And the video that popped up, it was about fasting and prayer. And I said, all right, universe, I get it. I get it. You telling me to fast. I get it. And so I said, all right, you know what? I'm going to do 3 days, right? And I was going back and forth with myself, 3 days, 21 days, 7 days. And so I said 3 days. And then I said 21 days. But then I went back to 3 days. And then the same exact videos I was listening to of Dr. Miles Monroe when I made the decision to fast. And those videos, they helped me out tremendously, because instead of me watching television and anything like that, being entertained, it was just me, Dr. Miles Monroe, his videos, and Prosperity Bible, and water. Okay. And I remember I said, all right, 3 days. I'm gonna do 3 days, right? After I said 20, I said I'm gonna do 3 days. And then I come across the same exact video I've been watching, and Dr. Miles Monroe says, 3 days is not a fast. I said, what? Like what the hell? He says 3 days is not a good fast. And I'm oh my goodness, like really universe. And then he says, a good fast is 7 days, 14 days, and 21 days. And then I say, all right, you know what? I'm gonna do 7 days, right? Because there's right there. And then I would say later on, I would say 21 days, and then I just say, 7 days. And so from me doing that, I do believe that after that, um, I came across Peach McIntyre's um her um she had like a program going on, right? And the program, it was mindset, and this is the purpose of you listening and being obedient, you know. And I said, mindset. And at first, I was like, I'm not going to join it. It was like the last 5 days, for $10. And I was like, at first I said, I'm not gonna do it. It was something that was like, and then it was a part of me that was like, no, you're gonna do it. And so I did it, right? Um, and from me doing it, right? And Peach McIntyre has been in the game for a minute. And one of the things that I respect is, her work, okay? In the sense where as though like she's very consistent. And I remember I joined the mindset class, and she was, you ask her questions, she answered the questions or whatever. And it was a book that she had us read. And the book was No Excuses by Brian Tracy. And one of the things Brian Tracy says, who is a multimillionaire, he says, write your goals down each and every morning, every day. Now, I heard that audio before, when I was walking, when I would do walks and stuff. And, when I'm walking in the morning, I heard him, Brian Tracy, the same exact thing what the book said. And it was like I went and write the goals down every morning. And so nowadays I write my goals down every morning. I read my goals out every morning. Okay. Every morning I'm listening to Bob Proctor, Paradigm Shift. Um and from me doing those things, it's like Peach McIntyre would say, all right, well, you got to create a certain amount of videos, right? And at times I would be back and forth, like with myself, like, I don't believe in, hustle culture and, all those things, which I don't believe in, just working so hard or whatever. And I didn't even know like where the content was going to come from. I didn't know, 10 short videos and then one long form video. Like, I didn't know exactly where that content was going to come from. But then I started getting all these ideas. And today, it's so funny, you know, today, I normally don't count really how many videos I do. Um, like day by day, like, oh, I did, 8 videos today, or I did 10 videos, you know, I really don't count them. But today, for some reason, I'm like, oh my goodness, I did over 10 short form videos, right? And my thing was, all right, me being monetized. right? Because like I said, the more money you have, the more I believe, the more service you can give, right? And I like money, okay? And me and my children, we deserve the best of the damn best. And so that's I said, but I didn't think that all it is like, all right, Deena, you're gonna challenge yourself. Like you're gonna be of service and you're gonna challenge yourself, and that's how you're gonna earn it, right? Like you're gonna earn the money that you desire or whatever it is. So for me it was like, all right, I'm gonna make, content or whatever it is like that. You scared me. I'm gonna make content. Um, but I didn't know exactly like 10 short form videos, and it's so funny because some people say, you know, um, they say, well, how do I stay consistent? Right? Like how do I have heard people that, do content say like, well, how do I stay consistent? How do I pretty much come up with ideas or whatever it is? And for me, it's just it all started from me meditating and just hearing that voice, create videos and get people out the matrix. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know how I was going to do it. But one of the things that came up, all right, Dina, so what you do on a day in, day out basis? All right, I listen to tons of personal development. That's all I mainly listen to. Um, and So from me listening, me reprogramming my mind from me listening to consistently personal development. Um, when I came on the scene like the masterling and I was making, the videos, it was like I was so infused with the personal development that it just was like, you know, that somebody, was even trying to say I was a fraud. Okay. Um, and when they said that, I was offended. And it's like when I first got started. And he said that because he was like, you don't have to talk to me, like they're all inspirational, whatever, the way you talking to me. I didn't understand. And I was like, what the hell? But I didn't understand because the reason I was talking to him or inspirational is because of what I was being reprogrammed with. And so if you're a person that says, well, where do I start? Like I just want to change my goddamn life already. You made this long ass video that's an hour and something, an hour and some damn change. Where the hell do I start at? Well, where you start is with self. Go in a room, a quiet room, meditate, you know, or put out in the ether. What's the purpose of me being here? Because when you seek, you will find it. Because to every side of the spectrum, in the words of Abraham Hicks, there's always two sides. So you have an answer. I mean, you have a question, there's always an answer. You have a illusionary problem, there's always an illusionary solution, right? So there's always two sides of the spectrum. There could never be just one, right? There could never be, oh, well, it's just bad. It, is duality. is balance, is the law of opposite, right? So there could never be just one. So for me, if I could give you any type of advice, it would be to spend some time by yourself, and some people don't want to be by themselves because oftentimes they may not necessarily like themselves. So, you know, you may not be comfortable being by yourself, but my question is, if you're not comfortable being by yourself, how could you be comfortable being with other people? Because we are what we attract, and everything that you feel within, you feel without, right? Everything that's in the inside, it reflects on the outside. Whether you say or believe that, whatever, that's neither here nor there. So to the people that says, well, I want to be in a relationship already, like, damn it, I just want to be in a relationship, and you hop, skip, jump, run, whatever, into all these different relationships, that's a sure sign of, um, you know, like you alone. Like you feel like you always alone or whatever. That's a sign from that's a self manifestation of self hatred. And I get it, right? Like, who the hell want to hear that? Who want to believe that, right? Like, is a sign of self hatred. Like, I don't like, because why do you need to be in a relationship? Yeah, relationships are lovely, okay? I'm gonna be in a relationship, but the best relationship that you could ever have is with self. Because if you don't know who the hell you are, you just get in a relationship just to get in them. Just either to pass time or to feel like this person is finna give you love. Which, either way, like, if you feel empty, how could this person give you something? Because you're gonna attract exactly what you are. So you looking for love, most likely they looking for something, for you to give them. They looking for love, but it becomes a more intriguing and interesting and beautiful thing when you already know, like, I give myself love, and you could spend time with yourself. See, I never could have said that because, I was one of those too who would jump and hop and skip and, into relationships. But when I started doing the work on myself, like, I start enjoying myself. I like cooking in the kitchen, with bossa nova music, and not even understanding exactly what the hell they saying because some of the stuff is in French. But the instruments, okay, from me listening to the bossa nova music, it sounds good, okay. Um, I like being with myself. I enjoy it. I remember hearing Les Brown say some of the conversations that the best conversations you will ever have is with yourself. And that's so true. So, because I speak to myself, okay, I talk to myself. Um, but those are really the best conversations. And you know what? I used to look at people who would go out by themselves. I would be like, oh my goodness, what a loser. Ooh. And I would say that, why? Because I was insecure, and I just could not see subconsciously. I didn't know, why I would think they was a loser, but subconsciously I would think they was a loser because it was no way that I could have seen me going out to anywhere by myself. I mean, like to a restaurant or something, by myself, a restaurant, to the movies and stuff. Until I started doing it, I experienced it, right? And it was a challenge, right? All the shit that I done said about this person, being a loser and stuff. And, now I'm, whatever. Okay, going to the restaurants and going there, I'm quite sure people probably do it that, the way I do it about other people. And when you enjoy the company with yourself, it does something when you're not expecting. Well, I expect you to give me love. Why? But oftentimes you're not doing it. You're not even giving yourself love. And then sometimes you say, well, why the hell you keep on lying to me? But you're lying. You lie to yourself each and every day. You lie to yourself saying that their relationship is going to get better. You lie to yourself and say that you believe that their relationship is going to change. And so that person isn't doing any more lying to you than what you're doing to yourself, because everything starts with self. So it's not until you start looking at yourself and saying, you know what, I've been lying to myself. And then you'll start getting different. But seek within, go within, meditate. That's what I could give you. Meditate. Advice I could give you, meditate. Whether you do it for 1 minute, 1 minute, okay? When I first started, I don't know how long I don't know if it was 5 minutes, right? And then your mind is going to wander, right? You're gonna have different thoughts, and it's not it's not for you to stop, the thoughts or whatever it is for you to become the observer, other thoughts, and then become mindful of the breathing and stuff like that. But there's no right or wrong. I remember hearing Dr. Wayne Dyer say, there's no right or wrong way to meditate. And I said, God damn, where was you when I first started? Because when I first started, I didn't know if I was doing it right or wrong. And then later on, I heard, you know, so the universe or God, source, whatever you deem it, is always, speaking, right? It's always like, guiding you, letting you know, like, you know, um, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Just you applying yourself. Just it's like you at least meeting it halfway. God damn it. Like, all right, well, I desire success, but you don't do nothing. And then you think that it's just going to fall in your lap. There's nothing in this universe that, is just like something like you get something for nothing. Like that's not how it is. Like you have to at least dance with it, meet it halfway at least, right? So if I say, all right, well, I want to be, and I used to say this before, I used to say, I want to inspire millions, okay? And if I'm not doing anything, right? Imagine me saying, all right, I want to be a content creator, right? Or for me it wasn't, and I love one of the things what Tabitha Brown said, like, she didn't choose this, because I didn't choose this wasn't something that I said, all right, well, I'm gonna be a content creator. I never said that. In fact, when I seen somebody that I grew up with from the projects and she would go live, I would be like, oh my goodness, like, how could she do that? Because I seen myself having to be perfect, right? And so when she would go live, I would say, "Oh my goodness, like how could she go live? People may say stuff, people could see her, right?" I never thought like this wasn't something that I grew up saying, well, even it wasn't even around. But this is not something I said, "Oh my goodness, well, I'm gonna be a content creator," right? Later on, after I got the download and everything, I would say, I am a successful content creator. I am inspiring millions or whatever. But this, before my enlightenment or awakening, I never had the desire to make videos, because I was insecure. So why would I, like, although the outside was really polished, okay, in a certain way, whereas though I felt I had to be perfect. I never like I never felt like, oh, I could do certain things. And isn't it funny? Isn't it funny that when you start knowing who you are and knowing, no, I like to say, you know who you are, but you knowing who you are each and every day, because you should be evolving each and every day. But it's so funny how I had to, basically strip everything, and then I was able to come and do videos. A lot of my videos from like old videos, my hair was sticking up on my head. And I remember hearing Infinite Waters say, when he started, his hair would be sticking up on his head. And shout out to Infinite Waters. But yeah, my hair, I remember I did a video with boxes on. I was outside, okay. It wasn't the intent for me to just like, oh well, look, I did a video with. No, it was a sweeper who was coming, and I needed to move my car. I had boxes on, and I was like, they was my ex at that, well, my boyfriend at that time, his boxes, and I was like, I need to move my car, and I had boxes on, and that whole day, looking back at it now, okay, that whole day I was doing Uber in boxes and a tank top. so, and I remember this guy who I knew. I remember I took a picture and basically just saying like, don't worry about what other people think of you or whatever it is. And one of the things he said, he was like, "Oh, you taking it too far. Like, I get it. Like, you had just spiritual, whatever, your spiritual awakening. I get it, but like, you taking it too far." But he ain't really get the message. The message was, I'm not gonna put on. I got boxes. It was summertime. Okay, they shorts. You can't tell what they really were unless I really got out the car, and unless I told you, well, unless you seen, the front of them. Um, but you really couldn't even see the front like that because I had a tank top on. Whatever. So, so yeah. So with that being said, I love you guys. I love you. I love you, Raquel. Um, it's so good, right, Tracy? I mean, it's really, really good. I appreciate you, Em. Um, let's see. Hey, exposing Roblox. Um, all right. Okay, so family, I gotta go. Um, my children gotta get up early. When we went to the park yesterday, um, they were so tired. And it's so funny, I'm gonna say this and then I definitely gotta go. I remember at times I would be like, you know, when my children would leave on Thursdays because they go with their father on Thursdays. And I remember at times I would feel a little overwhelmed, right? So when Thursdays would come, I would be like, oh, you guys going with your father. Um, but just these past days, it's been and last week I did a video about, they father picking them up, right? Um, but these few days it's been really, really like joyous. And I seen at times, I would be a little short tempered like with them. Um like today even. And one of the things for me is to have the best relationship I possibly could have with my children. It's so funny because oftentimes, sometimes we may want children because we like, well, I want somebody to love, or I want somebody to love me, you know, and to be able to do the work on myself and challenge myself, it gives me room for me looking at my children and saying, all right, I know you're a little afraid or whatever, but you have the ability to overcome this. You have the ability, like it's something so phenomenal in you that you can change it. And from me doing the work on myself, it just like it does something in all aspects of my life. Like when I write goals down, my children is in my goals, and one of the things I say is I wanna, like in my book, I have it where as though exactly how I want my relationship with my children to be. And it's so funny because I said boundaries, right? And I say the universe will test you because it certainly will when you say, certain things. And so I think even with my youngest daughter, okay, you know, I was like, I did a video yesterday and I was talking about boundaries and, how my youngest daughter sometimes has um, and it just, it feels really good to know that my relationship with my children, it can be like such a beautiful thing, but it starts with me, right? It starts with my relationship with myself. And for me, right, if anything, I'm not, take away the if. Um, I do believe that our children has come through us, right? They don't belong to us. Um, but I also say if I could leave them anything, I want them to know they have the ability to change their lives. Like, no, yeah, money, whatever it is, I leave that, but I really want my children to know that they have the ability to change their lives. Like that's like one of my main things. Because them knowing that, they know that they don't have to wait for anything outside their existence to change them or to change their lives. Like they could change at any given time. And so I love that. So yeah, so with that being said, I love you guys. I catch you guys later on today. And keep rocking out, keep believing in yourself, keep going, keep growing, and keep glowing. Okay. And I catch you guys later. Peace.